English with Famous Minds podcast. Listen, learn, imagine.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English with Famous Minds podcast. This is the place where you learn English through conversations with the greatest minds in history. Take a moment, relax, and just listen. Today's guest is not just an inventor. He is a man who imagined the future long before the world was ready for it. Electricity, wireless energy, modern technology. Many of these ideas started in his mind. Today, we are talking to Nikola Tesla. Mr. Tesla, welcome.
Thank you. It is a pleasure to be here.
I want to start with something simple, but important. If you had to describe yourself, not as a scientist, but as a person, who are you?
That is not an easy question. I think I am someone who sees things differently from others. When most people look at a machine, they see what it is. When I look at it, I see what it could become. I see movement, change, possibility. In my mind, ideas are not just thoughts. They are images, clear, detailed, almost real. Sometimes more real than the physical world.
So when you create something, you don't start from nothing. You already see it, complete, in your mind.
Yeah, exactly. Before I build anything, I test it inside my mind. I observe it. I change it. I improve it. If something is wrong, I can see the problem immediately. And when everything is correct, then I build it. This saves time. But more importantly, it gives me certainty.
That sounds incredible, but also intense. Does your mind ever stop?
Not often. Sometimes, especially when I was young, it was difficult. Images would appear suddenly, strong, bright, impossible to ignore. But with time, I learned to control this process. And then, it became my greatest tool.
Let's go back to your childhood. What kind of child were you?
I was very curious, always asking questions. My family noticed this early. I remember I was fascinated by small things. Water, light, sound. I could spend hours just observing, trying to understand. But there is one moment I remember very clearly.
What happened?
There was a storm. The sky was very dark. And suddenly, lightning crossed the sky. It was powerful, violent, but also beautiful. I could not stop looking at it, and I asked myself, what is this energy? Where does it come from? Can we control it? Can we use it? That moment stayed with me for my entire life.
That's incredible, because that question basically shaped your future.
Yes, in many ways, it did.
Let's talk about your work. You are known for alternating current, a C. For someone listening, with simple English, can you explain what it is?
Of course, electricity needs to travel from where it is created to where it is used. Before my system, electricity could only travel short distances. It lost power. It was inefficient. And it was expensive. My system allowed electricity to move over long distances. It became stronger, more stable, and more useful. Because of this, electricity could reach homes, cities, industries. It became part of everyday life.
So in a way, you didn't just invent something, you changed how the modern world works.
I helped make it possible.
But not everyone supported your ideas. You had a famous conflict with Thomas Edison. What was that experience like?
It was difficult and sometimes frustrating. We had different visions of the future. He believed in one system. I believed in another. But the real problem was not only technical. It was also about trust, about control, about money. Many people were afraid of change. Even when something is better, people resist it.
Did that affect you emotionally?
Yes, more than I expected. There were moments when I felt alone. Not because I was wrong, but because I was early. Sometimes the world is not ready. And when that happens, you must continue anyway.
That's a powerful idea. Let's talk about your daily life. What did a normal day look like for you?
There was no normal day. When I was working on something important, I lost track of time. I could work for many hours, sometimes the entire night. I walked a lot, thinking. I would imagine ideas while walking, then return to test them. My work was not only physical, it was mental, constant, continuous.
Did you ever feel exhausted?
Yes, of course. But there's something interesting. When you are truly interested in something, fatigue becomes less important. The idea becomes stronger than the body. Still, it is not something I would recommend to everyone.
That's honest. Let's talk about one of your most fascinating ideas wireless energy. What was your vision?
I believe that energy could travel without wires, through the air, like waves. I imagined a world where energy is everywhere, accessible, free, available to all, not controlled by a few, but shared by everyone.
That sounds like something from today.
Yes, but at that time, it was difficult for people to understand, and also difficult to accept,
Why?
because systems like that are hard to control. And when something cannot be controlled, it cannot be easily sold. So even if an idea is powerful, it may not be supported.
So your ideas were not just scientific, they were also philosophical.
Yes, technology is not only about machines, it is about people and how they live.
Let's talk about something more personal. Were you ever lonely?
Yeah, many times. I spent a lot of time alone, partly by choice because I needed silence to think, but also because it was not easy to connect with others. When you think differently, you feel separate.
Did that ever make you regret your path?
Sometimes, yes, but at the same time, my work gave meaning to my life. So even in solitude, I was not empty.
If you look at the world today, electricity everywhere, technology everywhere, what do you feel?
I feel satisfaction. Many of my ideas became real, but I also feel curiosity because I know this is not the end. There is always something more to discover.
What advice would you give to someone listening today?
Stay curious. Do not accept things just because they are common. Ask questions, observe, think deeply, and most importantly, continue, even when others doubt you.
Last question. If you could change one thing in your life, what would it be?
I would try to connect more with people. Not only with ideas, ideas are powerful, but without people, they remain incomplete.
That's a beautiful way to end this conversation. Mr. Tesla, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you to everyone listening. Remember, learning English is not about being perfect. It is about understanding and being understood. Take your time, listen again, and enjoy the process. See you in the next episode.
English with Famous Minds podcast. Listen, learn, imagine.